There really is just a different feeling in the air during the start of the baseball season. America's pastime, as it's often called, where you can go and get a hot dog, catch a nice tan, be with family and friends, and that's all before the first pitch. From Lou Gehrig calling himself the luckiest man alive to Pete Rose diving headfirst into home, this game is built on heart, hustle, and emotion. Today, I'm joined by three expert panelists as that fuzzy feeling of opening day braces our souls once more for this week's MLB edition of The Toss-Up. Welcome into this week's MLB Opening Day edition of The Toss-Up. I'm Jet Garrett alongside Ethan Bonner, Henry Thuss, and Noah Bedoris. Guys, there's a lot of phenomenal sports months throughout the year. I think March is towards the top. March Madness really carries a lot of weight, but MLB Opening Day, I mean, that's one of the best days of the whole entire year. Now, obviously, there's a game on Wednesday and then the rest on Thursday, so it's a little weird this year, but there's just nothing like it, guys. I mean, do you have that warm, fuzzy feeling inside of you right now?
I'm excited. The teaser of the World Baseball Classic. I mean, the U.S., they didn't get it done, but that kind of leads into the MLB season, which I'm excited about.
Well, the World Baseball Classic was just an incredible tournament. Now we get to watch, 7 months of the highest quality baseball you can find on the planet. It's just going to be an unbelievable season.
Yeah, I mean, baseball's the best. We waited this long for it, and, we're going to get to game one, and, my team gives up 8 runs in the 8th inning, and that's okay because baseball's back. That's all that matters.
Isn't it great you get to say the season is over for 162 games? But when your NFL teams lose one game, you're like, it's good. We'll get there next week.
Right. Well, I'll say this. The one team with their season ends a little bit better than everyone else. That's been the Dodgers the last couple of seasons. And Ethan, I want to start with you here. I mean, is there anyone that's ever going to take these guys down?
I mean, lucky for you, Thus, you get to watch the Dodgers. But honestly, I want to say yes, but I don't think so. I mean, there are a couple teams, in my opinion, that can, and I think they both come from the NL East. I think one's the Phillies. I think one's the Mets. The Mets, it's kind of hard because we don't know how their new roster is going to pan out with all the people they released, all the people they signed, and then the Phillies. I mean, their roster, they didn't really have a big change. I mean, it's still similarly structured, and the amount of experience that they have, I think they could be a team that takes down the Dodgers, but with who they added with Edwin Diaz, I'm very upset about that still. And then Kyle Tucker, I don't see them I don't see anyone taking them down.
Well, and I'll add to that. It's funny saying as the Dodgers fan, obviously, but people forget the Blue Jays took them to Game 7 of the World Series and were inches away from winning.
Had on a strike away.
MLB is a beautiful thing because in baseball, any team can win and lose on any given day. So while, as the Dodgers fan, I don't want them to lose. Anyone, someone definitely can take them down.
Well, what I'm saying is that you could be when you're only playing them in a 3-game regular season series, but when you got to play them 7 times,
it's tough,
maximum, and beat them 4, that's where it kind of gets sketchy.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I definitely agree that somebody can take them down, but I do disagree, and I think that it would come out of the AL. I think that in the National League, there's the Dodgers at the top, and there's a bunch of questions after that. But I think in the American League, if LA gets to the World Series, they're going to run into a Seattle or a Red Sox or a Yankees or even a Tigers team that I think is built to hang. And like we already said, the Blue Jays took them to 7 games and a 2-strike pitch in the 9th inning. So I think the Dodgers are more than capable of not getting this three-peat.
If you're talking about NL teams, the spring training MVP does play in Cincinnati, so let's not forget about the Cincinnati Reds. I want to talk to you here, Henry, because we know about the Dodgers.
Yep.
What I want to know from you is, who's a player, could be anyone in the league from any team, who's a player that's going to break out this season? Who's the next star of the league? We've got so many. I mean, and it's kind of this new wave of young talent entering the game over the last few years. Who's that next guy?
Well, it's an awesome thing when you have so much young talent coming in. Like you have Paul Skeens, who's already the best pitcher in the league. He's like 23 years old. It'd be really easy for me to say like Connor Griffin or Kevin McGonigal. These are 2 absolute like studs who are coming in for Pittsburgh and Detroit respectively. But I'm going to go with the guy Carter Jensen. He came up for the Royals last year. Only 70 plate appearances, very small sample size, 941 OPS. He absolutely rakes. He hits the crap out of baseballs. I mean, he's unbelievable at it. I think Carter Jensen for the Royals with Salvi he's going to get less time at catcher now that he's getting older. He's going to go to DH. Carter Jensen's going to get more of a role there, and I think he's going to be a really special player.
And I think he's going on a team, I mean, the Kansas City Royals, that's a really fun team. I mean, I love it. Bobby Witt's there. Caglianone's there. Vinny Sasquatch, go Jets, is there on that team as well. Jonathan India, also a Jets fan, by the way. Didn't even know that when he played for the Reds. Yes, that is confirmed by Vinny Sasquatch that Jonathan India, he's going for his 6th Rookie of the Year this season. Those who know. NL Central, let's talk about it then. We're talking about the Reds. Which team? I mean, the NL Central to me, and maybe it's because, I mean, you're a Cardinals fan, I'm a Reds fan. We see the Central every year. I feel like it's the most wide open division every single year, and then the Brewers come and do it. Who's going to do it this year in the NL Central?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I agree. Where it's especially this year, where I think the Cubs and Brewers look the best on paper at the top. But then beyond that, the Reds, people forget, were a playoff team last year. Pittsburgh's been building up something special the past few years. And the Cardinals, I think, have such an interesting outlook because it's almost entirely new guys. It is a vastly minor league roster. And so while there's so many options up in the air, I really do think it's Milwaukee's division to lose. I mean, they've done it for the last 5 years. Every year I think they're not going to do it, and then their pitching is just that good. I mean, they lose Freddie Peralta and Jose Quintana this offseason, but I think that they are still built to win, especially in a wide-open division, like you said.
Well, their pitching is so good. You got Pat McAfee going out and telling Jacob Mizrowski, I'll give you like $100K if you throw 104 on opening day or something. Like, they just mess around and do that. It's crazy.
It is the way that the Brewers run their organization is, I mean, it's unbelievable. The way that the story of how they got Mizrowski is unbelievable. I mean, the Brewers have it figured out. Mm-hmm. You talk about, go ahead.
And that's always the thing with whoever the Brewers manager in any given year has the easiest job in the world. Because your starter's going to go 7 strong, and then you have 2 studs in your bullpen, and that's the game.
And you won 2-0.
Boom, manager of the year.
Yeah,
every
and
time.
Then manager of the year because your pitching staff's just that good.
Yeah.
You talk about all these new guys with the Cardinals. I want to ask you about a new system that's being implemented,
yeah.
The ABS system. You can challenge balls and strikes now. We saw it a little bit in spring training. Didn't see it in the World Baseball Classic. That caused some controversy in the United States Dominican Republic game. How big of a controversy is that going to be during its first season in Major League Baseball?
I think there's going to be a lot of hype going into the season. I think that there's going to be a lot of expectations, but what I saw was only 2% of pitches in spring training were actually challenged. And so I don't think it's going to impact games as much as people think. Similar to how pitch clock was, where everybody was freaking out about how it's going to, a late pitch clock violation is going to end a game.
And it made the game better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you don't even notice it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't watch a game and think, wow, this pitch clock is really obvious. I'm waiting for the first, challenged pitch that totally flips a game and people freak out on Twitter. But I'm very in favor of it. I think we're moving towards an automatic strike zone, which I'm also not against. But yeah, I am pro ABS, and I think it's going to be a very smooth transition.
I think that the ABS eliminates the automated strike zone. Because I think it gives you, I think that's both sides. A lot of people say, let's keep umpires because human error is a part of the game. I've always found that to be a silly argument. And then you have the people on the other side that say the same thing I just said. That's a silly argument. I think you have the best of both worlds here, where bad calls can be made and they can be challenged, and it's not final. Henry, I want to come to you here. Which manager this season is really coaching for their job?
Well, no one will say they're on the hot seat more than their own media, and that's the 2 managers in New York City, Carlos Mendoza and Aaron Boone. Those 2 guys, with Aaron Boone, you've been there for 8+ years now. You got to the World Series once. You could have gotten there in 2017. You haven't won it yet, and you've had some pretty incredible rosters. And then on Carlos Mendoza's side, with the Mets, with the amount that they're shelling in, it just, amount of money that they're putting into that team, it just creates the perception that they need to win now. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Aaron Boone, though, just because he's been doing it longer. I think firing Mendoza after 2 seasons would just be ridiculous. But Aaron Boone getting fired is not crazy to think about, especially if the Yankees miss the playoffs this year. I know, the New York media is going to be like, he's getting fired every single year. I mean, you hear people on WFAN go on and say some crazy things, right? But I think it's Aaron Boone.
I kind of think I would agree. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that he's lasted this long.
Yeah.
I think the World Series, going to the World Series, and they were completely outmatched. Speaking of the World Series, I'll ask you this real quick. You think Aaron Judge will have a big at-bat this season?
That result, he'll have some big at-bats.
Big ones. Do you think he's going to perform? I mean, he didn't in the World Baseball Classic.
No.
Unbelievable. Hey, that's the captain. That's the captain. I love Aaron Judge. I think Aaron Judge is a phenomenal player. I really do. He was talking about the Mets over here. What do they have going? I mean, I think if you're talking about off seasons, I think the Mets had the weirdest. What's going on? What are they building in there?
It was such an up and down offseason for us Mets fans, and I can kind of get what you were saying about bringing the money in, and I think that's why they're scared to sign Freddie Peralta to an extension, because he wants that long-term deal, but the Mets like to send them on these 3, 4, 5-year deals rather than what Peralta wants, which is 8, 9 years even. And I just think with Pete Alonso going out and with all that controversy and then getting rid of Brendan Nimmo, who was for the people, it'll be interesting to see how that infield kind of plays, because with Bo Bichette coming in, trying to move him around, and then Brett Beatty too, they have a young core 3, and then also their farm system is really good to kind of see how they kind of develop in with Carson Benj now starting at right field. It'll just be interesting.
I'm really excited to watch Bichette and Lindor play together. I think that's going to be a lot of fun in those pinstripes. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to discuss MVPs, fall-off teams, and who's going to hoist the Commissioner's Trophy in the fall. All this and more when we return to the MLB edition of the Toss-Up. Welcome back into the MLB edition of the Toss-Up. Guys, let's just not even waste any time here. I want to know who your guys' MVP picks are for both the American League and the National League. I'll start right here next to you with Ethan.
AL, I'm going to have to go Aaron Judge. I mean, I think it's the obvious pick. It's the most boring pick, but you can make a case for Bobby Witt, which I kind of wanted to do, but I realized that my NL pick, it's a little different. So I was hinting at it before the show, but Ronald Acuna. I love it. I think he is going to have a great comeback year for the Braves. And as much as I don't like the Braves as a Mets fan since NL East competition, I just think that his talent, his stolen bases, I think everything that just creates him as a player will really shine this season. And he's really wanted to get back to playing in the MLB. And I think watching his brother play for the Mets when now he's not there, he's just so excited. And I think he's about to have a great year.
I mean, I just want to say real quick, because I love Ronald Acuna Jr. He's one of my favorite players in the league. He's probably my favorite non-red in the league. I think he's the most fun player ever. He hit his first career home run in Great American Ballpark.
He has so much aura.
Yeah.
The aura's insane.
He really does. He really
Yeah.
does. Henry?
I'm going to make the Bobby Witt case, actually. Okay. I think a lot of it, unfortunately, relies on Aaron Judge not playing a full season, which he's had injury issues in the past, but you can't really rely on that when making an MVP pick. I think Bobby Witt's a better defender than Aaron Judge by a mile, without a doubt. And I think the offense, if Aaron Judge has even a slight down year, the offense is comparable. And then you just get in the range of, can Bobby get hot for a month and take some counting stats? So I think Bobby Witt has a very good chance. For NL MVP, I can't not pick Shohei Ohtani. And this isn't even me as a Dodgers fan. It's Shohei Ohtani's first season healthy going into a season as a pitcher since 2023 with the Angels. He hasn't pitched a full season for the Dodgers. People don't remember that. His first season he didn't pitch. Second season he threw 44 innings. If he goes out and even has a 3.7 ERA and 160 innings, 28 starts, and he, has a 900 OPS, he's the MVP unanimously. It won't even be a question.
And it might be the greatest season ever.
And it will be one of the greatest seasons of all time.
I do disagree to some regard. I think that he has to be the best at one of them. He has to either put up the best offensive or best pitching.
I disagree. I totally disagree.
Okay.
If he has a 900 OPS, which is top 7 in the league roughly offensively, and he puts up a 3.7 ERA, which is 20% above average pitcher probably, he's going to win MVP. I absolutely guarantee it. There's no other player who can even give them that volume of innings.
So it doesn't matter how well he does.
No,
as long as he's just a little above average, he'll just get the MVP
he will
time.
win it. Yes.
When did you say he was last healthy, fully healthy going into his season?
2023 is with the Angels.
That's insane how good he is, even without that.
He went 50-50 without pitching.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that Shohei's he's the greatest. He's the greatest baseball player ever, and it whatever. Noah.
I thought about Shohei, thought about Judge, thought about Witt, but I would rather be wrong than boring. So for the American League, I went with the reigning Rookie of the Year, the athletic Nick Kurtz. Batted 290 last year, 36 homers, almost 90 RBI, in not a full season. Didn't get called up till late April. So I think if he gets a full sampling of an entire season, he's going to hit over 40. He's going to put up over 100 RBIs. Batting average will probably stay around the same. I don't believe he's going to have that sophomore, second-year slump. National League, I think we're going to have the first pitcher MVP since 2014 Kershaw, and it's going to be Paul Skeens.
Okay.
I think that
That's fun.
because there's always this argument about what is MVP. Is it the best stats or is it the most value you bring to your team? Yeah. I think that Skeens benefits in both regards because if he continues to put up these numbers he's done the first 2 seasons, he's been so consistent in those first 2. And then when it's all said and done, Pirates win 70 games and 25 of them is when he's starting. That shows his value so much. And I think that when he's the best pitcher in the league and there's not a whole lot of competition, I agree that Shohei's the obvious answer, but I want to see every year I say I want to see a pitcher win MVP again.
I couldn't agree more, and I feel like it's a situation where it's if Paul Skeens can will them into the playoffs, I give him the MVP.
Yeah.
I would do that. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I'm going to take Gunnar Henderson and Ellie De La Cruz. Let's go right here. Henry, I'm going to start with you. I'd rather be fun than boring. Or wrong than boring. I like that one.
Yeah.
I want to start with you here. Which division winner from last season do you think has the best chance to not repeat this year?
Yeah, in terms of winning the division, I'm going to take a team that made the World Series, and I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
I think they had a lot of guys in the second half play better than they probably will for the rest of their careers. Ernie Clement and Addison Barger are not doing what they did again. They're great players, let's not get it wrong, but they are not doing what they did again. I think Toronto, I think their pitching is a little weak, even though they signed Dylan Cease. Kevin Gausman's on the decline. Jose Barrios is kind of just an innings eater. He just kind of fills innings. So I think it's Toronto.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Toronto. And I think it's less to do with the quality of their team and just how competitive the East is going to be this year. I think it's the Red Sox division to lose this year. I think the Yankees are going to be good. Orioles are going to be good. And so it's less about, obviously, Dylan Cease is a big acquisition. They didn't get that much better. And I think especially the Red Sox got that much better where I think they're going to overtake Toronto.
Ethan?
Yeah, I'm going to clean sweep it. I just think the fact that they even got the same record as the Yankees and they just took it over, I think the Yankees can take it right back, or even the Red Sox, like you were saying, Noah. And honestly, like what Thus was saying about how all the talent Dylan Cease, I honestly don't think he's going to perform as well as they hope for. And I think with that's going to cost them a lot in the pitching aspect.
I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians, although they're like the Brewers. They just do it they find a way. Real quick, before we get out of here, who's your MVP? Noah, we're going to start with you.
MVP?
Or excuse me, who's your World Series winner? We'll start with you.
It's not the Dodgers. It's the Seattle Mariners. I think that this team is so good up and down. The rotation is perfect. 5 guys that I think any team would want. It's the Mariners.
Ethan?
You're welcome, Thus. I'm going to go with the Dodgers. They have just too much talent, and I feel like they somehow got even better with Diaz and Kyle Tucker, so that's my pick.
Henry, take us home.
Dodgers, no explanation yet.
I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds. That's going to do it for our show this week. Be sure to continue the discussion and follow us on Instagram and X at IUSTV Sports. With that, there's only one thing left to do, so toss it up and find out if we catch it. We'll see you next week.